Hi, my name is Nora,
And my name is Julia.
and today we're going to be presenting on a project titled Does Meditating While Pumping Breast Milk Improve Depressive and Anxious Symptoms in New Mothers, which is an experimental study. This poster presents a subset of a larger study examining mindfulness-based interventions among working mothers. While the broader project also investigated breastfeeding outcomes like milk production and self-efficacy, the present analysis focuses on maternal mood outcomes.
So, for our introduction, maternal self-efficacy and mood are important factors for predicting breastfeeding and other infant health outcomes. Accessible social emotional interventions have been tested, but few have been tested specifically looking at mindfulness meditation and its potential effectiveness with breastfeeding. Our hypotheses for this study examine whether guided mindfulness meditation improves maternal self-efficacy, depressive, and anxious symptoms. It's hypothesized that an audio-based mindfulness meditation intervention, compared to the control condition, will result in improved depression and anxiety symptoms and will enhance maternal breastfeeding and self-efficacy. For our methods, we did a 2x2 factorial design experiment. So all of our participants recorded daily pumping sessions for 2 weeks. The first week, they all completed a control week where they pumped every day with no intervention. Then, after a midpoint survey, they were split into two groups completely randomly. The first group was doing the control for a second week, and the second group received the mindfulness meditation. All of our participants also completed the breastfeeding self-efficacy scale, short form survey, and the depression, anxiety, and stress scale 3 times throughout the study at baseline, midpoint, and endpoint. And we had 55 participants total at the time of data analysis.
All right, moving on to our results. So a mixed factorial ANOVA was conducted to examine the interaction between time, measured at baseline, midpoint, and end, and group, our two groups being control and meditation, on anxiety, depression, stress, and breastfeeding self-efficacy. Anxiety significantly decreased over time, with p being less than 0.05, while depression did not show a significant change. Our p-value was greater than 0.05. However, there were no significant interactions between time and condition. All of the p-values were greater than 0.05, indicating that the meditation intervention did not lead to greater improvements in comparison to the control group. And then for stress, stress significantly decreased over time, and for breastfeeding self-efficacy, there was significant increases across both participants in both groups, the p-values being less than 0.05. However, there were no significant interactions between time and condition. The p-values were greater than 0.05, indicating that the meditation intervention did not lead to greater improvements in comparison to the control group. Therefore, our hypotheses were not supported. Moving on to discussion and our future directions. So, our hypotheses that an audio-based mindfulness meditation intervention, in comparison to a control condition, would result in improved depression and anxiety symptoms and enhanced maternal self-efficacy were not supported. Despite existing literature suggesting mindfulness meditation may be a low-cost, effective intervention for improving mood outcomes like depression, anxiety, and stress, and self-efficacy in postpartum women, the current study did not find significant interaction effects between condition and outcomes. However, a significant main effect of time on self-efficacy was observed, with increases across both groups. Some potential explanations for our non-significant findings could include having limited statistical power due to a small sample. As Julia had mentioned, we had 55 participants at the time of data analysis. The virtual format of the study, which may have reduced adherence to the intervention procedure. So, for example, mothers may not have listened to the full meditation, and the brief duration of the intervention. This was 1 week within 2 weeks of the study, making it difficult to assess the longer effects of mindfulness meditation practice. This study is an initial attempt at evaluating the impact of mindfulness on breastfeeding self-efficacy and mood outcomes among working mothers. Future directions include longer meditation intervention, administering the intervention in person to improve adherence, and exploring alternative ways to integrate mindfulness into breastfeeding practices. All right, so here are our QR codes. On the left is our link to our literature cited in this presentation, and on the right is our full research proposal on breastfeeding attitudes in milk production. Thank you.
Thank you.